Charles' law. Right, so we're done with two gas laws, the Boyle's law and Charles' law. All right, just to have a quick recap on the discussion about these two laws. Who can recall the formula for Boyle's law? Anyone sa group chat lang, please? Formula for Boyle's law. Please open your camera, guys. Yung mga hindi pa nag-open. If you cannot open, then you know the drill. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Caitlin. All right, Keisha noted. No problem. All right, there you go. P1 V1 equals P2 V2. Now, for Boyle's law, what is held constant here? For Boyle's law, all right, temperature is held constant. And by the way, including number of moles, N, right? Okay, now what's the relationship between pressure? Rosette, wag mong lagyan ng plus yung formula mo. Walang plus yan. Yep, walang plus yan. Yeah. All right, so what do you call this one? What's the relationship between pressure and volume? Are they directly proportional or indirect? Okay. Okay. All right, that's correct. Villamore? Directly ba, Villamore? Or inverse? Boyle's law. We're still talking about Boyle's law. Yeah. Barry's inverse there indirectly. Yep. That's correct. And now let's go to Charles' law. Can you recall the formula for Charles' law? It's a group chat. All right. Equals, lagyan mo ng equals yan. Ayan. Alin, saan yung equals dyan? Yeah, in between ng, yep. V1 over T1 equals V2 over T2. All right. And what's the relationship between volume and? Okay. All right. They are proportional. Okay. Directly proportional. And pressure is held constant for this law, Charles' law. All right. And for temperature, talking about Charles' law, we need the absolute temperature. Now, how are we going to convert Celsius so that the temperature will become absolute temperature? We have to, add 273.15 Kelvin. You have to add. All right, that's correct. Very good. At naalala niyo pa rin. All right, that's good. So now let's proceed to share my screen here. To the remaining laws, and we'll have some examples on this one. You see my slide now? Right? Okay. So we have here, so we start with Avogadro's law. So for Avogadro's law, at constant temperature and pressure, okay, so we have there, volume is directly proportional to N, the number of moles. Now, for this Avogadro's law, 1 mole of any gas at STP, meaning to say at standard temperature and pressure, which is equivalent to 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere respectively, it occupies a volume of 22.4 liters. Again, tandaan niyo yung value na yan, 22.4 liters. Okay, for 1 mole of any gas. Kahit anong gas yan, basta 1 mole lang yan, according to Avogadro's law, it occupies 22.4 liters. Okay, remember that value. All right, here we have here the law of combining volumes, or Gay-Lussac's law. At constant temperature and pressure, the volume of reacting gases are always, okay, in ratios of small whole numbers. Now, these small whole numbers, where are we going to get these values? We are going to get these values based on the balanced chemical equation. Now, these values are just the stoichiometric numbers. Okay, stoichiometric ratio. Say for example, here we have the reaction of hydrogen gas and oxygen gas to produce water vapor. So here, 2 moles of hydrogen gas reacts with 1 mole of oxygen gas. It yields 2 moles of water vapor. Now, for ideal gas, guys, since we're talking about here ideal gases, volume is proportional to number of moles. Meaning to say, yung stoichiometric ratio niya na 2 sa hydrogen gas, 1 sa oxygen gas, and 2 sa water vapor, then that is just the equivalent volume. So the volume for hydrogen gas is just 2 liters base sa stoichiometric ratio. Oxygen gas is 1 and 2 for water vapor. Okay. Now we proceed to ideal gas law. Later on na yung mga examples because these type of laws are just related to each other. Now here we have the ideal gas law, or just simply the combination of the 3 laws: Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law. Okay, so ideal gas law is given PV equals nRT. Diba? For Boyle's law, fixed yung temperature and number of moles. For Charles' law, fixed yung pressure and number of moles. And for Avogadro's law, fixed yung pressure and temperature. Then, when you combine these 3 laws, you will get PV equals nRT. P for pressure, V for volume, N for number of moles, T for temperature, and R is for, did you encounter already the R value in your junior high? Ano ibig sabihin ng R? Nga sa group chat nga, yung ano, parang may umuo na-encounter daw nila yung R. What does R means? Still recall? R means, mukhang hindi naalala. So R is the universal gas constant. Yeah. Well, kala ko kasi walang nagtatype eh. Universal gas constant. So R. And how about the value? You still remember the value? O sige, mag-antay ako ng value. Number lang yun. So madali lang yung i-type. Kahit wala ng unit muna. 10. Alright, yun. Nakuha ni Rosette. Janil, yan nakuha. O, run off lang nila. Okay. Alright. Okay, so later on I will show to the next slide the value of R, or universal gas constant. And then we'll make a parang mnemonic, hindi naman siya mnemonic, how to memorize the unit kasi 4 yung unit niya ng R. Alright, so we have here, there you go, the universal gas constant or the ideal gas constant. It has a lot of what was this one? Values or unit. So commonly, the first one there, yung nasa pinakauna, yan yung kanyang common unit, this one. If you knew na yung value is 0.0821, run off lang yung 6, yung 0, diba? Like 0 is 6. So for our case, we will use this value, 0.08206. Okay? Remember when you solve the ideal gas law, okay, I mean combined gas law here, the temperature is absolute temperature. Okay, so same thing pa rin, ika-convert nyo into Kelvin. Now, how are you going to use this unit para hindi kayo malito? You use that unit into latemolec. Okay, 0.08206. Bakit latemolec yung pagbasa ko niyan? Ayan. Diba sa taas yung liters, atmosphere, over mole and Kelvin sa baba yan. Since yung exponent niya is negative, diba? Okay. So para mas madaling i-memorize, latemolec. Okay? Para mas madaling i-memorize, unit for universal gas constant is latemolec. Alright, next. O, hindi niya makita sa libro ha, gawa-gawa ko lang din yun. Pwede kayo maniwala doon o hindi. Basta yun yung pagbasa ko niyan. Just an ease of memorizing. Or parang palatandaan. Alright. Next one. So here, for the combined gas law, if since the R there is constant, di ba, galing sa formula PV and RT, since R is constant, if you have two cases, then P1 V1 over N1 T1 is just simply equal to P2 V2 over N2 T2. And if N is held constant, then we can cancel out N1 and N2 here. Then we are left with P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. And this is now considered as the combined gas law. Right. So before that example there na nasa PowerPoint natin, let me give you another example here and try solving this one. Say for example, you are going to solve for the volume, okay, of 22. Wait lang, magkano lang ako mag whiteboard. Whiteboard na ba yung nakikita? Tama? Yan. Okay. All right. So say for example, you are going to calculate the volume of 22 grams of carbon dioxide. Okay. 22 grams of carbon dioxide at 40 degrees Celsius and to atmosphere as our pressure. Your unknown here is volume. Okay. You apply PV and RT to solve for this type of problem. Volume yung unknown. From the formula PV equals nRT. Okay, just manipulate the formula or derive a formula from this one to solve for your volume. And careful, the temperature there, what to do, as well as the number of moles, since you were just given its mass. So you have to recall your stoichiometry. Recall stoichiometry there. So ang first yung isolve dyan, yung temperature. Convert mo na yung temperature. What is the value of its temperature in Kelvin now? Kasi we have to use the absolute temperature. Then yung N, you guys, remember the formula for N? What's the formula for N or number of moles? To solve for number of moles is just simply equal to mass over molar mass, capital M. Molar mass, we use double M because you might be confused na M is for molarity. So you can say molar mass, capital M, capital MM, para hindi malito. So N equals mass over molar mass. For this case, since we're not talking about molarity naman, so you can just say capital N. So, anyone na-solve na? Yung volume natin, remember volume equals, deriving that formula, yan, number of moles times universal gas constant times the temperature, the absolute, divided by its pressure in atmosphere. So, yung N mo, M over, pwede mong isolve separately. Yep, unit is in liters. Liters yung maging unit nyo dyan kasi, bakit liters? From the unit of R, liters yung unit doon, di ba? So, pag kinancel mo yung mga units, liter yung maiiwan dun sa R. So, that will be the unit of your volume. So, the answer is, yep. Yes, that's correct, MJ. Ano yung kasunod ng 4? Kumara ito decimal places mo para ano. Yeah, so that's it. It's correct. How about the others? Ano yung sagot nyo? Depende, what do you mean by malaki yung number? Pwede naman ang 1, para sa akin yung 1, malaki na yun. Jam, that's correct, Jam. Well, yung 1,000, pwede sa akin, maliit pa lang yan. Subjective yan eh. Value ng R? 0.08206. Value ng R, 0.08206. Jeros, that's correct. Sa pag-run off lang siguro magkaiba, pero that's correct. How about the others, guys? Caitlin, that's correct. Carol, that's correct. Mas pag-run off lang yan. Medyo magkaiba, pero already considered correct. Malaki nga. Naka-liters ka na dyan eh. Ba't nilagyan mo ng liters kung hindi pa yan tapos? Volume na yan. How about the others? I need 5 more na mag-respond dyan. Ayan, try, double check mo ulit yung values mo. Medyo, yeah, Rosette, that's correct. For, ano yung next ng 4, medyo may konting fluctuation dun sa, pero tama naman yung 6.4. Yeah, considered na yan, pero double check mo ulit kung Mara, that's correct. Janil, that's correct. Okay, one more so that we can proceed. Kyle, double check, Kyle. Medyo sobrang liit. Yung N mo. Okay, that's your N pa. You can just say your N is point 0.49. 0.49 ba nalabas dito sa inyo or yung iba 0.50 siguro no yung N nyo. So yan. So then just substitute. Siguro yung iba na hindi nakuha agad yung sa N kaya hindi na solve yung volume. So let's just say you use 0.50 here times 0.8206 for your R times your temperature is 40, 273, 313, right? 313.15 over your pressure 2 atm. So no need to convert na into other unit kasi naka-ATM na yung R natin dito. So the answer here is 6.42. Yeah, 0.08206. Ano bang ginamit mo na value? Saan galing yung 80 mo? Ba't may 80 ako? 6.42, maling type. Okay. 6.42 liters yung volume natin. Alright, that's correct. Okay. Let me new share mo na ako ulit. Balik tayo dun sa PowerPoint natin. Pwede nyo i-print screen yan if you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here, we'll continue here. So let's just say we have this example. A gas occupies 401 milliliter at 1 atmosphere. What will be its volume if the pressure is decreased 2.750 atm at constant temperature? Okay, so combined gas law yung minention dito, pero if you can say, if you check here, sinabi sa problem na constant temperature. Now, recalling with the previous laws, if the temperature is held constant, then we can say it's Boyle's law, right? But initially, from here, combined gas law natin, okay, ano to? Or dito, combined gas law P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. Since in the problem, uh, temperature is held constant, then T1 equals T2, so we can cancel that out. Then we are left with P1 V1 equals P2 V2. And this formula is Boyle's law, right? So then you can just solve your problem. Now, since we're talking about here Boyle's law, and di ba sa Boyle's law natin, as pressure decreases, what happened to the volume? As pressure decreases, the volume increases. So, ibig sabihin, since yung pressure natin from 1 atm decreases to 0.750 atm, then an expected answer will be more than 401 ml, since we're talking about Boyle's law. So, substituting here, 1 atm equals 401 ml times the volume. Then pressure 2 is 0.750 atmosphere times the volume 2, then we get volume 2 equals 401 ml times 1 atm divided by 0.750 atm. Then you get 535 ml. As expected, this new volume is greater than 401 ml, as we have here the relationship for Boyle's law. Right, next. Okay. Say for example here, we have three unknowns, three knowns na variable. Okay. And then we can use the ideal gas law to get the fourth one. So say for example, what volume will 2.64 mol? Okay? Unlike kanina, yung N natin hindi pa given. Di ba? Ngayon, given na yung N. Di ba yung sa example ko kanina, mass yung given for a certain compound. Now here, it's already in number of moles. So 2.64 moles of nitrogen gas occupy at 0.640 atmosphere and 31 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, applying ideal gas law, PV nRT, volume yung unknown, V equals nRT over P. So, using that formula, N is 2.64, R is 0.08206 latin molec, times the temperature, which is given dito is 31 degrees Celsius, then convert that one to Kelvin plus 273.15 as absolute temperature. And then your pressure is 0.640 atm. Then do your math, then you will get 103 liters. And then guys, careful always. Tandaan nyo, if ever the temperature is not yet in absolute temperature, convert that one to Kelvin. And then if the pressure is not in atmosphere, then convert that one into atmosphere. If ever you are solving for ideal gas law, if you involve the universal gas constant R. Pero doon sa P1 V1 equals P2 V2 yung sa Boyle's law, whatever the unit of your pressure there doesn't matter as long as pareho silang unit. Okay? Kasi hindi mo pwedeng ma-solve na yung P1 is naka-atmosphere, yung P2 is naka-millimeter mercury. Then you cannot solve for the desired uh, value kung ano yung kailangan doon. Dapat pareho yung unit ng dalawa. Okay? So here, let me have another example. Okay. You're going to calculate the density. Density yung unknown dito, guys. By the way, ano nga ba yung formula ng density? Still remember? Density equals, alright, mass over volume. Okay. Sir, bakit biglang naging density yan, sir? Okay, check this out. Calculate the density of nitrogen gas. Okay, nitrogen gas yung hinarap natin dito. N2. Again, remember, hindi ka pwede magsulat ng ano, you want to solve for the nitrogen lang. It's N2, diatomic molecules yan. At 20 degrees Celsius, that's 20 guys. 20 degrees Celsius. And then meron kang pressure na 608 millimeter of mercury. Then ang hahanapin mo guys is density. How are we going to solve this type of problem? You're given pressure, you're given temperature, you're given the molecule which is nitrogen gas or your compound nitrogen gas. Then you want to solve for your density. Wala kang volume, di ba? Meron ka bang volume sa problem? Wala, right? Meron ka bang mass? Wala din. But by analyzing the problem, how are we going to solve for volume first? What formula do we need to involve here so that we can solve for volume? Anong formula ang kailangan natin dito? Or sa mass, for example, paano ba natin i-solve yung mass? Anyone? Yep, sa volume, tama. Yung sa volume natin, pwede natin gamitin yung N R T over P. Okay, that's correct. So meron na tayo sa volume. How about mass? How are we going to solve for mass? Gamitin po yung N2. Yep, gagamitin natin yung N2. Now, what about N2? What information do we need from nitrogen gas? Kunin po yung molar mass. Okay, correct. So therefore, remember, N equals mass over molar mass. So manipulating the formula, you get mass equals, what do you call this one? N M. Diba? Mass equals N M. Then you can solve there. Ito yung formula natin, Nm. Number of moles times molar mass. Then you can solve now your density. Just substitute to your equation mass over volume the formula for your relationship for your mass with its number of moles times molar mass, and then for your volume, which is equivalent to number of moles times the universal gas constant times absolute temperature over pressure. And then, importante dito kung makaka-derive kayo ng tamang unit. So, ang gagawin nyo guys, itong mga formulas na to, ito, yung sa V at saka sa M, i-substitute nyo itong dalawang to dito sa formula ng density natin. Diba? Ito yung formula ng density natin, mass over volume. Yun ang una yung gagawin guys. Substitute the formulas to the main formula. Then makikita nyo doon kung ano yung pwedeng i-cancel. Kasi baka nagsosolve kayo dyan, tapos wala talagang value na makuha. Initially, pwede na pala ma-cancel yung symbol na yon. So, cancel it out first before you do substitution. Yeah, it's okay. Noted. Villamor. Noted. All right. So what's the update now? Did you get the pressure now? Ayan, dagdagan ko pa yung hint dito. Yung M natin is number of moles times molar mass. Yung volume natin is nRT. Careful guys ha, your formula involves fractions of formula. So careful when simplifying your formula. This is your whole denominator, that's your whole numerator. So from there, manipulate your formula from there. MJ? Well, depende. Yung unit ng density, magdedepende talaga yan. Di ba? Pwede din magka-grams per centimeter cube. Pwede magka-grams per ml. Di ba? Kilogram per meter cube. Pwede. There are a lot of unit of density. Now, for this case, the expected unit for density will be from the cancelled units dun sa formula mo. But is your answer there, MJ, your answer na binigay there is your final answer? Or that is just for the value of something? Yeah, maybe that's the volume. Volume pa lang yan or what? Because that answer is incorrect. Please double check. O para hindi malito siguro give me first the value for your pressure. Ano bang pressure ang ginamit niyo dyan? Di ba yung pressure natin dyan is naka-millimeter of mercury. So, since yung unit natin sa universal gas constant is meron siyang atmosphere, so therefore we have to convert millimeter of mercury to atmosphere. Yep, correct yan. Yung sa pressure, correct yan, Carol? Hmm. MJ, check the formula there. Is there really a need for you to solve for the mass? Carol, it's to the volume. Yan yung volume mo. Pero, yeah, same question, Villamor. That's correct for your pressure. Carol, for the volume, I think if you want to solve for your volume, then you have to solve for your n. Now, you're not given, if you want to solve for your n, then you're not given with your mass. Then how are you going to solve for your n? So therefore, stick to this hint I gave you a while ago. Check here if there is a what do you call this one? A symbol that you can cancel. Then you go proceed from here on. Yeah, so you can cancel n. That's correct. So if you can cancel n, then proceed. How are you going to derive a new formula? Again, do not be confused. This symbol is rho, Greek alphabet rho, meaning to say density. This one is P for pressure. Diba? Rho to rho, ito pressure. Okay, you got it, Ahmad? Then proceed. Then you can solve now for your pressure. mas excited ako sa unit kung anong unit ang gagamitin nyo dyan if you know how to cancel it out. Wala pa rin nakakuha ng sagot, ha? Yes, Vil? What? Well, final unit, secret. I-derive nyo base sa pag-cancel mo ng mga units dyan. Mag-cancel out ka ng unit. Tama na yung formula mo and then isolve mo na. Sige na guys, it's already time, so give me the answer now. Oops, that's the volume. Ayan. There's no need for you guys to solve for the volume na. Go directly with the pressure. Density, I mean. Kasi pag magsisolve ka pa ng volume, technically hindi mo siya masolve kasi you are not given with the mass of nitrogen gas.
Sir?
Yep.
Ano po ulit yung value ng R?
0.08206. Let me check. Let me write it here. R equals 0.08206. Unit is latemolec, L ATM per mole Kelvin. Yan. Okay. Density, Carol. That's correct. Density yung hinanap natin dito, ha. But the unit is, double check please. Kasi yung unit na yan, volume lang yan. Okay. Siguro sa pag-round off lang to, Rosette. Close, tama yung sagot mo. Sa pag-round off lang siguro medyo nagkaiba. Then what's the unit of that one, Rosette? Density yung hinanap natin dito guys, density. Ito, yung symbol na to, density. Jam, that's correct. Oh, there you go, correct unit. Also correct unit kay Jam, very good. Carol, you get the magnitude correct, but the unit, double check please. Oops, Jairus, you get the correct magnitude, but the unit, please double check. Double check with the cancellation of units para makuha mo yung final unit mo. From here, di ba, magiging formula yan ng density is, since denominator natin is fraction, then you get the reciprocal of the fraction and then proceed to multiplication. Therefore, you will have molar mass times the pressure divided by the universal gas constant times the absolute temperature. So, yun yung formula ng density mo. So, from here, i-cancel out yung unit. Villamore, no. MJ, no. Nope. Mali din yung number. Mali din yung... No. Hindi Villamore. Ito na yun, formula ng density. Ito na yung binigay ko dito. Yeah, cancelled out ang N. MR. Okay. Pero, careful ha, itong RT over P, yan yung whole denominator. Ito yung buong mong denominator, which is in fraction form. Now, since in fraction form siya, nasa baba, then how are you going to simplify your answer? When you have fraction in the denominator, then, di ba? Get the reciprocal and proceed to multiplication. Then, you multiply P now will become your numerator, multiplied by M. Then the denominator now will be your RT. O, kahit sa formula, i-apply mo rin yung ganyan. That's the good thing if you still remember yung division of fractions. It's just that these are just variables, di ba? Unlike sa fraction, number lang. Kasi fractional form siya. Close pa kayo ng sagot ni MG and ni Vil, oh. Close na, ano. Pero, incorrect ka, double check nyo. Oh, time na, ano? Ano na sagot nyo? The answer there is 0.93, okay, grams per, laki naman sagot nyo, ah. Sino ba yung mga nakatama kanina? Si Carol, si Jairo, si unit lang mga mali nila. Si Jam, correct unit, very good. So, ayan. 0.93 grams per liter. Bakit grams? Kasi sa unit sa molar mass, diba, naka-grams yon. Yung mole doon, maka-cancel. Sa pressure is ATM, pero may ATM din doon sa R, maka-cancel din. Sa temperature is ATM, pero may ATM din dito sa R, which is you were left with liters na lang. Itong liters dito sa R na unit. 1.9, hindi rin. Mali din. Kasi kung i-convert mo itong 0.93 sa scientific notation, iba, hindi siya 1.9, kundi 9.3 times 10 to the power of negative 1 lang. So, again na, simplify, 0.93 grams per liter. Print screen this one, please. Wala to sa libro nyo, wala sa PowerPoint. Just an additional sample problem lang. So, congrats sa mga nakakuha. Yung mga medyo naguluhan sa process, ito yon. Siguro you're not used to derive formulas, guys. That's why you were used to stick on the base formula na binibigay. So dito, masanay kayo sa akin na hindi ko bibigyan ng formula na ano. What do you mean, isang formula for pressure? Unit o formula? Vil. Force over area? PV and RT. Baka PV and RT yung sinasabi mo. Ito yung ito na yung nagiging formula ng density natin. Derived formula yun. Derived formula na yung density natin. Density to, density. Yeah, density. So, dinerive nga natin to from here. Cancel out natin yung n. So, ito na yung naging. So, sa molar mass po ba talaga ay, sir, sa molar mass po talaga ako na gulabigyan. Pero tama po formula. Okay, sa molar mass. Molar mass, diba, is, paano i-solve yung molar mass? N2 yung natin, diba? Nitrogen gas. N2 yan, N2. So, meaning to say, ano ba yung nitrogen natin? 14, diba? I think that's 14 yung atomic mass niya. So, times 2. 28 yun doon. Okay, baka 14 lang yung ginamit nyo, kaya naging 700 plus yung sagot nyo. Alright, so, question pa? May tanong? Print screen this one. Yes. Yung walang tanong na, I will say happy weekend sa inyong lahat. Thank you for listening. I know for sure na may naintindihan kayo. I mean, may natutunan din kayo. Then we'll continue this one on Sunday. No assignment? So just study in advance doon sa PowerPoint natin at saka sa libro. Yes, Vil, 608 sir, sa 28 something I multiply. So, ibig sabihin, hindi, yung kaya pala, Vil, kasi yung pressure mo, hindi mo kinonvert into atmosphere. You have to convert that one to, I see. So, you have to convert. Careful. Kasi yung, di ba, kung hindi mo i-convert yung millimeter of mercury natin dito, when you go back to your universal gas constant, ang unit natin dyan is naka-atmosphere. So how are you going to cancel it out? You cannot. Okay? All right. So guys, thank you so much for your time and happy weekend everyone. By the way, na-receive nyo na yung scores nyo doon sa e-portfolio. O, mas galingan nyo pa masyado sa ano, pagandahin nyo pa masyado sa second quarter. All right, thank you so much guys. Bye guys. Bye.